So for me, it was a lot of uh there's a lot of anxiety around certain aspects of finances, and I'm by myself, so like I never have someone to kind of run it by or talk to about.
Yep.
Um I guess there are people around. I guess finance is kind of one of those topics that's a little either people do talk about it or don't. And since taking the course, I talk about it now. So that's one thing that has changed. But my biggest reason to join was just the lack of confidence around, especially around investments and
Mhm.
around where my financial goals were going to lead.
Yep.
So after talking and thinking if this was the right program for me, I do very much feel like I made the right decision in going through the 6 month course. I still have a lot to learn and some reinforcements to make with the curriculum. I have to revisit some of the topics like wills and trusts. I'm going to come back to when I get that benefit added for work. Investments, I feel like I'm still going to have to like reinforce that material multiple times. But I feel a lot better about the portfolio that I've put together with the extra money that I found, as well as the extra money that I knew I had. So I'm now investing it, putting it to work, and I feel a lot better about where things are. So,
That's awesome to hear. I think that what I heard, the biggest takeaway was kind of like the confidence, right? Like it's a scary thing. Finance is not taught to us, and there's a lot of like little confidence a lot of us have in the very beginning stages. But being able to even gain that confidence through a 6 month program is huge. But like you said, like you're going to need reinforcement, which is why the lifetime program is awesome for a lot. That's why I extended, in fact, because I knew people would need more than 6 months. What were some of the building specific building points that you guys had, or I guess the better question, what are some of the bigger wins that you had specifically? Sorry, I'm dropping things all over the place over here. Over the
um,
6 month journey, kind of where you started versus where you're at today.
well, I'm terrible and haven't done my before and after, but I've thought
Ah,
about it. So
it
I
makes
know
this
I was
conversation a
supposed.
little easier sometimes.
Yeah, and I should have done it. Sorry, someone's ringing my doorbell. My one of the biggest things for me was I found an account that had cash in a my my IRA changed from USA managed to Charles Schwab about 4 years ago, and everything I put in the last 4 years was left in a cash state.
Oh
So it
wow,
was
yep,
not
yep,
invested.
yep.
So taking the course, the money I paid for the course alone just for figuring that out was something I probably wouldn't have discovered until I was way too late.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
one
was
of the
a
biggest things I see in people's situations all the time. They have cash, like they're investing, but they're not investing.
oh my God, I was so mad. I was
Yep.
so upset,
And
but
they didn't tell
at
you or
least
give you the heads up, like, hey guys, we're switching from USA Bank to Charles Schwab.
they did. And when they told us, like, I just assumed it would have transferred all. I mean, I had them all in Target retirement funds before.
Sure.
So um I didn't even know to look at it, and I mean, I even looked at my accounts, but never knew what I was looking at
Sure.
before.
Yep.
So, that was one of the big things. I have since gotten, identity theft protection. I all of my accounts are now reinvested.
The dividends.
Uh, yeah, so or,
Beautiful. That's the
I don't
difference of
know.
millions of dollars.
I don't know the language still, but they're out of Target. I looked at the expense ratios. I did all of that exercise. I stopped putting I used to put some money in a traditional and some in Roth, so now it's all in Roth. And then my retirement, that's the last piece that I haven't made the move on. I this year my company offered the Roth option for my 401k. So I talked to Tom about that as the outgoing process to this 6 month phase because it was the last thing I really had to do.
Yep.
Um, shoot.
That's a
So
good
yeah,
benefit. That's a good benefit that they're adding, so you have more flexibility to kind of move to Roth dollars if you want.
yeah, and after talking to Tom, it was kind of like, since like if people are over here, it makes sense to do one or the other. But I missed the um I need to go back and watch it, but he said you guys had a speaker on who talked about people who kind of fall in the middle and how you can put half in, your traditional and then, half in your Roth. So I think I'm going to do that for my retirement. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, let's see. I moved everything over to one. I used to have multiple vendors, if that's the right word, or suppliers. So I now am everything's at Charles Schwab. So that makes it
Nice.
easy to see everything in one place.
Yep.
Um, shoot, where's my list? I
That,
can't
that's
remember.
a those are phenomenal transformations, and obviously it's over 6 months. So, like you said, there's more things for lifetime that you're going to be changing. What was the biggest mindset adjustment during this time frame?
Um, I think it was like I did do initially my program with or my session with Heather. I think for me it was feeling like a failure, kind of, you know, just if I don't make money, then I'm, not doing the right things.
Hmm.
So just I guess for me too is I never budgeted before. So just understanding like kind of where every dollar went, and starting with the basics kind of really helped me build a foundation, since I kind of just put money in places but never really um thought about it much more than that.
Right,
So
right. That's a big adjustment. What about as far as like when you were, what would you tell yourself 6 months ago? Somebody that was probably skeptical on the sidelines. What would be that biggest adjustment to get yourself to take action?
um I think eh, I think if you think you still don't know everything. Um
It happens. I just did
or
a podcast episode on that.
oh yeah. That and like I guess I still benefit from the community too. Like I get on every, not as much as when I was in the course, but I still am looking and learning. And it's an investment you won't regret. And it's gonna pay off more than you could ever imagine, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, I haven't updated, I did it in Q1, but I haven't updated all my balance sheets recently. So if I looked at the numbers, I know from what I've seen, it's already incredible. So um, don't be afraid, take the leap. It's an investment that will pay off the rest of your life,
Do you
by just
remember
committing
what
that.
your estimate over a 6 month period of net worth jump was by any chance?
I, you know, I had got a new computer. I don't even know what saved version. I have like 8 different copies of it.
Yeah,
Um, but
it
I do
happens.
need to go back and look. I know. And then I learned after seeing videos of how you organize it. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I need to do it. I know I was supposed to do all that stuff, but this
It gives you
last
that it
step.
get the thing about I like about that is you really see true wealth building. Like, you can see the budget ins and outs and stuff like that. That's cool, but like you see the movement that you're actually making. It's kind of like you've gone through the practice, you're doing all the work, the behind the scenes work. Now you actually see the result of that work with the balance sheet, which is
Mhm.
why I like it, seeing it like that. That's very cool to hear. It's awesome, an incredible success story again. What would you tell somebody that's sitting on the sidelines waiting to get in, maybe thinking, is this the right decision for me? What would you tell that individual?
Just go for it.
Somebody's gonna be like, I don't know, I don't know. It's still, I'm still a little skeptical.
I mean, I let's see. Um, just kind of going back to it's going to pay off, in
How
the
did you
long
get
run.
over how did you get over skepticism? You might have not been skeptical, I don't know. But if you were skeptical or there was like, hey, is this the right decision for me? Is this going to benefit me and my family? What would you tell somebody in that situation, maybe to kind of guide it a little better?
So I was skeptical in the beginning. I almost felt, I don't want this to be criticizing
Not
because
at all. Please don't.
it was just a big investment. I
Sure.
felt, I felt like, I fallen, this is a really bad comparison. It didn't feel scammy, but like the uneasiness that I felt about making the decision, like
Yeah,
made me feel like, is this legit? Is this actually
for
going to
sure.
pay off? Like,
Yep.
I just invested, this amount of money and I don't even really know everything I'm signing up for. So my backstory was I don't have social media. My best friend followed you on Instagram for quite a while and she had sent me some stuff. So I signed up when I did have social media. I guess I had signed up and got emails and everything previously went to my junk email. And all of a sudden, come like October, a little bit before October, it started showing up in my main inbox again. And the funny story, I think they might have told you this, I don't know. Um, I made the decision after I had spent probably like 25,000 on home renos that I just kept saying yes to one project after the other. And I had set aside money when I bought my house 2 years ago, knowing I was going to do it. But my big decision for taking the leap was I just spent all this money and I don't even know like how or when or whatever. So I wanted to get on track with, just monitoring spending.
Hmm.
So I saw the email, I clicked on it, I met with, I can't even remember who my person was, and I signed up right away. And I texted my best friend and I was like, I don't know what I just did. And she's like, oh my gosh, I literally just signed up too. So
Wait, who's your friend?
my best friend is Kelsey Garrity.
Oh, Kelsey, she's
Um,
awesome. Yes.
yeah. So she gave me many, actually, it's sitting on my
She's
desk
been
because
crushing it as well.
she is. So, and now we talk about finances all the time, which we did a little bit before, but I just was with her last week and of course, an hour of our conversation was on money. She gave me this during COVID. She gave me
Yeah,
this
Simple
book.
Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Love that book.
Yeah, so that's where she started. And she sent me that and I forgot why I got that back out, but so it was funny the timing because literally my uneasiness, I had reached out to her and she's like, I literally just signed up too, but she was going to start a month after. So we literally did it at the same time, which for me did really help because we would talk about things.
Sure, sure.
um,
That's phenomenal to hear as well that you guys went through this together. And so my emails must have like got out of your junk mail and went to your regular inbox eventually.
I don't know how it happened, but it worked. And I guess again, like my decision was that I just wanted to be like in control again and not feel like money was dictating me, if that
Sure.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So it kind of just all worked out, I guess, a little bit serendipitously. And then again, I don't regret doing it. So
Phenomenal.